If you've been listening to this travelogue as a part of the blog series online, the podcast, and so forth, you know that I've been in Argentina teaching business's mission through a group known as the Instituto de Transforma, Institute for Transformation. And it was an absolutely fantastic trip, great news, but it got cut short. I was supposed to do 3 cities, 4 churches, and ended up doing 2 cities, 3 churches. So it ended a little more abruptly than I had anticipated. It certainly wasn't planned this way by anyone, but something happened in the last church. They simply could not make it, and so we decided I'd come on home. And I'm glad to be home. I have to say, I'm always happy to be home. I love my home. I love my family. Traveling is not hard. It's not easy at my age, but it's not hard, except for being away from home. So I'm glad to be back. I'm very happy to be back. And so that's good news. But I could have stayed longer, personally. I have to say, I've never been to Argentina before. I've been to South America many times, and I really like it. I mean, it's just there's a vibrancy there. They're transitioning politically, so to speak, from sort of 20 years or more or less of socialist type leading government, and now they have Milei, who is very much the libertarian. He's not even a conservative; he's a libertarian, meaning not no government, but much less government. And it's really making a positive, powerful difference in the country, but it's got a lot of people very divided. It reminds me, for those of you who are in my audience who are Americans, you can kind of look at our country now and see the same sort of division as we go from a more or less socialist mindset of democratic rule to a more libertarian Republican leadership, and the country is split, similar to what we see in Argentina. So, but I could have stayed longer because the church there was so engaging, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. But I do want to say thank you to the Institute for Transformation for sponsoring me this trip, for Rodrigo Tapia, the leader of the Institute, for allowing me to be a part of it, and to Pastor Hugo from the church, one of the churches in Buenos Aires, and Pastor Christian, the church leader in Mendoza, for hosting me. So much fun. So I totally enjoyed it, and I'm glad to be back. So what were my observations coming away from this trip? You've kind of gotten my walk around, man on the street, crazy man talking to himself videos that I did just as the moments popped up, and I hope they were helpful, encouraging, entertaining, instructive, whatever. I certainly enjoyed doing them. But I want to wrap out now with 5 just sort of observations on the trip, but particularly as it pertains to what God seems to be doing among the Argentinian Christians. So the first observation is, and this is not new, but it's great to see it now in a new country, that the BAM message resonates with believers. So far, in every country that I've taught in, and I'm sure some of my colleagues like Mats Tunahag and others would say absolutely, it resonates. And the part that seemed to resonate the most is the idea that business is a high calling from God. The pastors were supportive of the idea. They were not resistant. They were not trying to play the "I'm the pastor" card. They want their congregations to be engaged in what God is doing, and so they began to see that the honoring of the call of God on a business person, and that doesn't have to be an entrepreneur. That could be an employee, a manager, but the call of God on people who are in the work world, in the marketplace, as high and holy, really was powerfully accepted. Many people came to me during breaks, or they came to me the next day after having heard it the night before, and they wanted to make sure that I understood how moved they were, how encouraged they were by that reality, that they were no longer being thought of as just, I work so I could pay for ministry. It's my work is my ministry. And thankfully, because of a couple of resources coming out recently, my book is available in Spanish, Business's Mission, but also a couple of recent books by Cara Martin out of Australia, the Work with a K, Workship series are available not only in Spanish, but they're being marketed on the South American continent. So I'm really excited about that. And they were hungry to learn more. They heard, one woman put it particularly, she said, God was speaking to me. God was affirming my worth, my call, my value. And that to me is just so critical. And I would encourage all of us not to, in the world of business's mission, not to be so pragmatic that we jump right into the intentionality, right into the ethics and the mission focus and the excellence focus and all the things that are right in the model, but also that we would stop and really lay the groundwork for people that we are discipling in the world of business as a calling to see that this is vocational, that God calls men and women into work, and with that comes a great honor, comes a great empowering, and a great joy and confidence. So that was the first observation, that the message of vocational calling to work, calling to business rings true literally everywhere I go, and I'm so thankful for that. Secondly,